Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 3 in the series between Empire's Happy and AI's Tara here on Daybreak. Happy spawning as the red Terran, Tara spawning as the green Protoss. Protoss versus Terran once more on Daybreak should be a really good game, as Happy just easily took game 2 with a well-timed drop inside the main base, double medevac drop with stim. And it really looked like Tara was trying to hit more of a 14-minute timing. Tara was getting up Colossi, he had armor upgrades, he had extended thermal lance research coming in along with Stalker Blink, but the timing on Happy's attack, hitting both the main base and the third base at the same time, really split Tara's forces, and with that, Tara was just unable to defend, now moving on to Game 3 in this best of 3 series. Hold on one moment. All right, back. Let's go ahead and finish this up. So, taking a look at the strategies and taking a look at what we're going to be seeing, Happy actually opting to go for a front door seal. Now we are going to be seeing a barracks off over here. This is a little bit out of the ordinary. I'm not quite sure what he's doing with a supply depot here and now having the barracks being hidden off here. But it does look more like a one racks or a fast command center as opposed to, say, a one racks expand. That is going to be whether or not this probe comes up into the main and actually scouts out this corner off over here. Most of the time, Protoss players will not scout out that corner. And then Tara may either believe that there is a proxy barracks or that it is a fast command center, but he's going to notice that there is no command center currently down. Probe is going to take a look around the field. It is looking desperately for that barracks. He doesn't spot it just quite yet, and this was actually a really smart play by Happy. Happy did not build his orbital command at the right moment. So Tara comes in here, takes a look, and goes, wait a second, where is that barracks? The Marine is now down over here, and it is now going to corral this one particular probe. The probe is pretty much stuck on the inside. Is it going to be enough? The probe now doing that stutter step. Is the supply depot going to come up in time? Oh, beautiful move by Happy. And I gotta admit, one of those small things, raising his supply depot just so the probe was forced to walk around it. And that was enough to get the kill. Nicely done there. A really strong play early on. Really like those cute movements in the game as the SCV now trying to get away and will be able to do so exactly somehow. Wow. Happy is actually utilizing the Zealot to delay the Nexus as well. So the Zealot is chasing the SCV, and because the Zealot is chasing the SCV, the probe was unable to actually warp in that Nexus for a little bit of time as well. We are going to be seeing a bunker now being placed down. One Marine sitting at a Zelnaga tower here, revealing a lot of sight. Both of these players unable to see the other Zelnaga tower, as we are now moving on into the mid-game. Now, Happy did do a little bit of a head fake, and now he is going into the traditional double racks, double gas build. Taking a look, the Nexus has been placed down, and this was important for Happy. Happy, knowing that the Nexus was being placed down, knows that there isn't going to be some strange, crazy antics for a fast robotics facility bunker bust that we saw in Game 1. This does look like it's going to be a longer macro game unless either of these players hit a strong timing attack. There is that robotics facility. Happy able to sneak in with another SCV. This is all very important as Happy is able to glean so much information just by having this SCV wander about. You can take a look. Happy currently just getting in and enjoying his economic advantage with these mules. 23 SCVs, 2 mules in play off of 2 bases, and you can see more gas and more minerals are being harvested. Now, what is this though? Tara taking a very quick third, and if Happy does not scout this out, this is going to haunt him. Tara taking a very big risk trying to take up a third base like this. You can see the Stalkers, realizing that there's a whole bunch of Marines there, and Tara deciding to back off. We'll see what's going to be happening next. One Marine perhaps coming around the far corner. There is one Stalker here, and Tara is going to scout this out and stop that Marine from getting any information. Happy is going to be in a bit of trouble. You can see that Happy does not have his own third orbital command this time around. And without his own third orbital command, he is not going to keep up economically speaking. Harvester count is 36 to 30. 6 SCV or 6 worker discrepancy, and now with another chrono boost building available, Tara should be great going into the mid game. Now, the follow-up play is going to be Happy, banking on the fact that his starport Marines and Marauders with Stim and level 1 weapons upgrade are going to be able to deal a lot of damage. This timing has to be spot on, as Tara is a bit weak right now. Take a look. He's behind in terms of tech. You can see the robotics facility was canceled. I was wondering how Tara was able to afford that. He actually canceled his robotics facility earlier in order to get down this nexus. Now with this, Happy may still believe that the robotics facility is in play or still trying to warp in. You can see another gateway finally being added as the factory is finally on the move. Double starports need to be trained. Looks like Stim is about to be completed. Combat shield and level 1 weapons upgrade should be coming online in addition to that Marauder concussive shell as well. And Happy will need to make something happen, otherwise he's going to really be far behind. You can see the factory is going to try and land where this Nexus is already staying. And the Stalker, or the Probe, is it going to spot that one factory? Oh, yes, it does, ever so barely for just a moment. But Happy will be able to scout that out. The third command center finally coming in as well. You can see Marines and Marauders are on the move. The army composition is still much larger for Happy. And I believe the upgrade advantage, Stim, Combat Shield, Concussive Shell, and level 1 weapons upgrade, all going to be happening at about the same time. The Marauder, getting slowed already, and that one Zealot does get taken down. Here we go. What's happening next? The factory does spot the Nexus, and the very, very decent saturation of probes already. Happy knows that he needs to punish this, take down this Nexus before too many minerals have been harvested. It looks like this one base has already paid for itself, as the factory going to try and land, and yes, it does. The Marines and the Marauders now are going to be stimming their way in. Are they going to perhaps be going after the Zealots? As the Zealots are going to clean up this one factory pretty easily. Factory now trying to fly away, not going to work out well, as the drop off over here not working either. Happy is very, very much in trouble. He is currently down 20 supply, down in bases, down in harvesters, but he is currently up in tech. That 1-0 upgrade for a very, very short while should give him a slight advantage, but we can see what 0-1 upgrades, soon to be 1-1 upgrades coming in from the Protoss. Now, Happy hoping to make something happen. It doesn't look good for him. He has one medevac sitting off over here at the 10 o'clock position. You can also see Marines and Marauders. You can see an orbital command trying to reposition itself, knowing that it was perhaps built a little bit too far away. And Happy does have decent map control. Somehow, with his small ragtag team of Marines and Marauders all across the map, and Tara being forced to really keep all of his units here at the third, he hasn't been able to engage. You can see now what Protoss players do when they want to move out. They're going to be establishing a couple photon cannons, 1 or 2 perhaps, to try and shut down any drops. I think 1 photon cannon here would be a very smart call, as we now see a double medevac drop coming into the main. However, the medevacs and the Stalkers perhaps catching sight of that, as now we see a drop inside the main here. This is just baiting away the units, as we now see an even bigger drop come in. One medevac now down. The second medevac taking a bit of damage, as the Zealots and the Probes are focusing this as well. Stalkers now trying to come in. It looks as though the photon cannon, this pylon, will in fact finish warping, as the Zealots are going to get a good surround. Let's take a look at the worker kills. 19 workers killed by Happy, though. A very, very strong counter push, as this does even things up just a bit. Tara is still sitting on a very, very large army advantage, but the economic advantage that he was banking on throughout much of the game has pretty much been nullified. Meanwhile, the weapons and armor upgrades, this weapons race and arms race is about even. You can see both sides getting into 2-2 upgrades, as we are now going into a Mobius reactor for Ghost. Marines and Marauders now engaging against a couple of Zealots here. It looks like this medevac is just going to leave the boys to die and then get taken down. Oh, down to 50 hit points and, 18. Somehow the Zealots getting in their way. The Stalker is going to get off 2 shots. No, it is not. The medevac able to fly back just in time as another drop comes in here, only to get cleaned up by Dark Templars. Dark Templars causing a bit of problem. You can see that one medevac unable to escape at all, and Tara now looks like he is in dominant control as we now see Archons merging in the field. Archons, the perfect unit, except for the fact that we do see the Mobius reactor, and we are going to be going for Ghosts. If Happy is able to play this very well defensively, you can see a lot of Marines and Marauders are being trained, but this third base is completely exposed to this large Zealot composition. The problem with Zealots, though, they are all melee units, and they have diminishing returns if they are not actually next to their target. The Zealots need to put their way, move their way in. What's going to be happening here? The Marauders and the Marines need to fight in a very good choke point in order to fend off this attack. And where are all of these units going to be traveling to next? Zealots have 1-2 upgrades. We are now going into level 3 weapons upgrades. So both sides are going to have perhaps 3 units before the 20-minute mark. Zealot quickly taking that down there as a quick scanner sweep does reveal the composition of units here. Dark Templars are now making their way in. There are missile turrets in position to try and intercept any of those Dark Templars that sneak in. We can see the Dark Templars now making their way in off over here. This could be huge. Dark Templars going to be running inside each of the bases, and the Dark Templars have now snuck their way inside the base. Back off over here, we can see the third base with supply depots, missile turrets, and bunkers. And what is this? The attack force is not really doing much. This has really been, this attack force, trying to go after the Ghost Academy. The Ghost Academy taking, going after a refinery and the Ghost Academy. This could be huge here as the Ghost Academy, double snipe onto this guy here. Is it close enough? The Ghost now trying to come over, and it is in fact close. That Dark Templar, EMP Shockwave in order to finish it off. Nicely done, as we do see observers here. Now, I believe if AiTarra had just attacked with this main force down off here, it would have been the game. We'll see if Tara does regret that a little bit later, as Happy is now massing up a large enough force. Tara using this opportunity to take up a 4th base instead, but that is still going to be rather difficult for him to defend. That is very much in the center. The Marines and the Marauders can hit these 2 bases rather quickly, and Tara now sitting on a 74 probe to 50 SCV advantage. Let's see, 29 workers killed versus 22. It looks as though a number of workers were taken down off here and over here as well. So both sides, all the bases getting attacked. Happy just unable to keep up with Tara's multi-prong attacks, as am I. So many units, so many attacks going on all over the map. Alright, so 3-2 upgrades now coming in. More ghosts being added. The Ghost Academy was not taken down. Very important to note. Also, unable to arm the nuke as we do not have a factory on the field. Taking a look back over here, Marines and Marauders quickly cleaning that up off here. We may be seeing a command center or even a planetary fortress established here, as there are observers all across the map. One proxy pylon will get taken down, and Tara feels actually a little bit shaky to where I expected him to be. I thought Tara would have felt much more confident attacking and striking with his massive Protoss death ball, as the Dark Templars had split up many of the Marines and the Marauders. Happy slowly making his way back into this game. He is only down by about 40 supply, and in terms of upgrades, it is about the same. You can now actually see 3-3 upgrades gonna finish for the Protoss, and now he is even starting on those shield upgrades. Here we go. Archons now making their way over. Tara pretty much maximum supply and building up a very large bank. Meanwhile, Happy sitting on a lot of gas. Is he going to be able to do anything at all, as he needs to somehow perhaps either increase his ghost production or even try to go into Ravens. Ravens very strong, as now another drop happening off over here. Happy really loving these split attacks, and one Marine just continuing to make his way off over here. We can see 29 to 34 workers killed. Not a good day to be a worker here on Daybreak. Harvester count is now 62 to 54, and Tara may actually be seeing may actually be saying thank you to Happy for clearing this up. Oh, what is this? Colossi just absolutely glitching a little bit on this path here. That would be a horrible timing if a Viking was nearby and was able to clean up 3 Colossi just because improper pathing on a map. Colossi, 4 Colossi coming across the center. You can see Zealots now making their way in. The Zealots have 3-1 upgrades, now getting level 2 shield upgrades. We are getting some photon cannons as well, and this is just acting more as a precautionary measure. These photon cannons hoping that Marines are not just able to simply walk in to just steal the show. It is 3 bases to 4. Happy still down by about 40 supply as this massive Viking, Marine, Marauder, Ghost ball wants to engage, and if it can do a proper engagement, proper flanking, proper split, that would be perfect. But Taro, with so many Zealots, may shut that down. There is that 4th orbital command. In comes that very large ball here. Is this going to be enough? The Colossi going to finish off many of the units. Vikings going to try and engage, but unable to do so. Some of the Vikings have been taken down. Ghosts now making their move forward. EMP Shockwave, but we all know EMP Shockwave does not kill a unit. Perfect for these hit and run tactics that Tara is trying to go for. However, Tara did lose about 40 supply in that fight. Now retraining double Colossi off of 2 robotics facility, getting level 2 shield upgrades, and perhaps just increasing his Colossi count even further. He's going to have 8 Colossi, and 8 Colossi against the 10 Vikings that his opponent will have. This is going to be cutting it extremely close, especially as those Colossi have superior upgrades, especially with that Guardian Shield. Alright, here you go, Colossi coming in. Vikings now trying to make a move in as well. You can see that the Vikings, even a round of attack, unable to really get past just the shields of the Colossus, as the shields of the Colossus and the Guardian Shield reducing the damage from these Vikings from 30 down to 22. That's a very strong hard cut there, as we now see some SCVs all getting just torn apart. Not a good day to be an SCV, as Zealots just sacrificing themselves trying to move in. Alright, some observers have been revealed here. Ghosts now trying to make their way in, but no massive units to break through those force fields as the Vikings overexpose themselves. Very heavy hits there. The Vikings, Colossi now both sides engaging again. You can see there are 5 Colossi left, but 2 more coming in to reinforce, and with the photon cannons being brought over, these are going to be offensive photon cannons if the Vikings try to get too close. More Zealots still pushing their way in. The Zealots could put pressure down here, as we see once again another engagement. However, the Marauders and the Marines able to push in, and a beautiful hit. More of those Colossi are now backing off. The Vikings are now being forced to engage. Stalkers, Colossi, more units are going to be warping in, and who is going to come out on top? A huge battle here in the middle of the map as the Ghosts are all cloaked. Looks like all the Vikings have finished off all the Colossi. Stalkers now trying to finish this off as well. There are a couple more photon cannons, and what is happening down here on the low ground? The Vikings perhaps should be going into that ground mode and trying to join in on that fight. Here we go, a couple Stalkers, and Happy looks like he has turned the tables and now has the supply advantage. Harvester count 62 to 35 though, not very good for Happy. Happy needs to make something happen, as the Vikings are all going to get finished off. More Vikings now going into ground mode. The Vikings, even though they do look like, even though they are in that ground mode and look like, look like a humanoid, they are not considered biological, so medevacs cannot heal them, unlike Hellbats. Tara sitting at 111, Happy sitting at 101. Army composition of Happy is much larger. The problem is, will he have enough to actually push through here? High Templars with maximum energy for Psystorm, that is going to be huge. A 4th base now finally being taken up by Happy. Happy is behind. He is sitting at 62 to 35 SCVs. And whenever you are down by that many workers, it is just very difficult to replenish your army unless you are Terran and have been saving up energy for mules. Tara now once again retaking the supply lead, back up by 11. Observers now being added as sight has been lost. Meanwhile, Happy has plenty of gas to work with, and I am still surprised he hasn't transitioned into Ravens. Ravens are very effective, being able to shut down Stalkers with point defense drone, Also, Seeker Missile does deal a little bit of damage. However, the High Templars would be able to get off feedbacks pretty easily on the Seeker Missile Ravens right now, as it does take 125 energy as opposed to the... Oh, what is that Marine doing? Trying to get away, as opposed to the 75 that it is in Heart of the Swarm. All right, we now see another engagement coming straight up down the middle. And here we go. There is some Ghost EMP Shockwave. Vikings now catching the entire group. And the Marines and the Marauders, whoever runs first, generally in Protoss versus Terran, is losing. And we see that happening exactly now. If the High Templars were in position to perhaps cast a Psystorm or two and actually make them pay for trying to chase all of those Colossi, that would have been a much, much better trade. Tara cannot afford to give free damage on these Colossi. Colossi are extremely expensive and very, very valuable. 4 High Templar, only one of them with enough energy for a Psystorm, actually enough energy for 2, as the remaining 3 will have enough energy for Psystorm in about 20 seconds or so. Tara needs to time this attack. Meanwhile, Happy just moving out with a very, very large, massive ball of units. You can see one command group and then Ghost all on another. His production buildings, all of his barracks, training up seven barracks worth of units at a time, 14 supply, and also double training Vikings and Medivacs all at the same time as well. Happy sitting at 179 as the Harvester count is now 62 to 51. I gotta say, it is about even once more, as another Marine looks like it will get taken down. Where is the next engagement going to be? You can see that the Ghost, with dealing 20... Oh, sorry, that's not a Ghost. This is a Ghost. The C10 dealing 26 damage per attack. What's going to be happening here? Are the Archons going to make their way forward? And what was that, an EMP on nothing? It does look that way, as the Zealots are... Oh, there's a Psystorm catching some of those units. I believe he was trying to also get off a feedback, but it didn't work, as many of those Ghosts are now just getting healed back up. Nothing really lost there, as the Archons now pushing their way in. All right, in comes some EMP Shockwaves. There you go. Where are the Psystorms? It is not engaging. A little bit too far behind, as the Colossi are melting away. There's that Psystorm finally, but it may be too little, too late, as the Vikings have done their damage. And Tara just walked straight into a trap and is now in trouble. 1 High Templar down. A 2nd High Templar may get taken down as well. Vikings going after the Colossus. The Colossus still alive, ever so barely. Tara now down by about 30 supply. It looks like Tara is just not doing smart engagements. The Vikings are upgraded 1-0, soon to be 2 zeros. Plenty of Medivacs in the group. The question is going to be, is there enough of a Bioforce? Also, the Vikings perhaps could be in time for a bit of repairing as well. Many of these Vikings in the red, just operating on fumes, so to speak. Happy really oversaturating this base here, and now needs to take up another command center in just a second. Viking, Marines, Marauders now going to be coming into position, finishing off that Zealot. In comes a new command center and some bunkers and turrets as well. Now, taking a look at Tara's force. Tara sitting in the middle of the map. We can see 4 Colossi ready to go. Is Tara going to be able to get a better engagement off? That is going to be the question. Happy with so many Ghosts, able to deal so much damage. EMP Vikings, however, going to get sniped down one at a time. That is not a good call. Happy needs those Vikings more than Tara needs those Stalkers, but Happy still able to train up more off of that double reactored starports. Taking a look at that Viking count, we are sitting currently on 13 Ghost, Marauders, Marines. Both sides still fighting. Both sides are engaging. Where are these units going to be attacking next, as Happy is now running essentially off of 2 bases only? The main natural expansion has already been lifted up. No gas even being harvested from here, as it has decided to land off down over here. Zealots now going to engage and perhaps do a bit of a flank inside the main. If they're able to just walk these Zealots inside the main base, that would really hurt the production, as there's only one force here. This could be a split force, split push attack, as the Stalkers are now making a move down into the bottom right-hand side of the map. Are these Zealots going to try to move forward? No, they are not. There is still a fair amount of Ghosts, and these Ghosts would absolutely rip through all of these Zealots. Ghosts dealing 26 damage per attack. one round of EMP shockwaves, a third of their hit points, or essentially, yeah, a third of their life already taken before any damage is truly dealt. There you go. There's the EMPs, and now a large number of just ghost attacks there. Kind of sad that a sniper round actually deals a little bit, just a little bit more damage than the base attack there. Let's see what's going to be happening next. Colossi now completely owning 1-4 Marine. There are ghosts in position here. And now it's going to be up to a High Templar to perhaps get off some nice feedbacks. If he can feed back 3 of those units, no, going to get an EMP Shockwave. It does get 1 Ghost in that engagement. And what's going to be happening next? All those Ghost Vikings now trying to engage Colossus, just getting ripped and melted apart. No Psystorm, and Happy should get this fight as the Vikings completely own the rest of those Colossi. You can see 10 Vikings going up against 1 Colossus. That is all that is left. Happy really enjoying his macro in the late game. I believe Tara missed a window of opportunity to attack earlier on, and it is really showing as Zealots are now making their way across the map. Alright, the Zealots, are they going to try to make a move inside this main mining base here? No, the Zealots are instead backing off. You can see Stalkers, High Templars, you can see the Ghosts are now pushing their way in. A couple High Templars now taken down. And Happy is going to be able to clean up this base here before it really gets up and running. It is going to be essentially 1.5 bases to 2 full bases for Happy, as this base does get taken down. 173 versus 130. Both sides are still fighting it out. Medivacs now in full retreat. Vikings now perhaps going to be making a move over here at the 12 o'clock position, flanking out and just fleshing out the last of the mining bases of Tara. Happy really played this game well, being defensive and forcing Tara into bad engagements. The constant scanner sweeps, the ghosts, the EMP shockwaves, really causing a lot of problems. Also, the lack of Psystorm coming in from those High Templars made it so that those Vikings were able to pick off Colossi much more quickly than normal. You can see the Colossi, even though they have their full 3-3-3 upgrades, have not been able to do enough to take down this massive Bioforce. The Bioforce just able to clean up once all the Colossi are taken down, and it's really been the MVP, the Vikings in this game, who have just shut down the counter to that Bio. Let's see what will be happening next. Stalkers, Zealots, High Templars on the move. You can see that the Medivacs are now making their way in. Are the SCVs? Yes, I believe the SCVs are actually on auto repair, as we now see a nuke being called over. So this is more of a tactical nuke. Like, do you want to try and engage me here? And if you do, something bad may be happening. Psystorm, however, catching a good number of ghosts. Those ghosts, taken down there. What are we going to be having next? Is another nuke being launched? Yes, another nuke could be ready in just a moment. There are actually multiple ghost academies for silos across the map, and that is the reason why another nuke could be dropped. And there you go. There's the congrats. There's the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 3. Happy playing very defensively and really just baiting out Tara into bad engagements left and right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.